Good day everyone, there was some more Blue Archive, and the time has finally arrived where the Gorilla Princess herself has dropped. That's right, it's Festival Banner where we can roll for Mika. Now, for those keeping track at home, she is arguably, if not outright, the strongest striker in the game. She's a yellow DPS, single target. She's tanky. She does ludicrous damage, and every attack she does hits. Crits. It crits. Her one weakness, her only weakness, is that her accuracy is kind of but she hits so bloody hard, it typically doesn't matter. Another weakness, I suppose, is that her EX skill cost is moderately high, but if you have anyone that can, if you have Ui or say Nuyu Fuka, you'll be good to go because you can discount it and it'll be really zippy. Basically, Himari and New Year Fuka are the two supports you want for her. You could throw Uri in the squad as well if you want, but it's a bit overkill. So yeah, this is a festival banner, which means the rates for getting a 3-star are double what they normally are. So instead of a 3% chance of getting a 3-star student per role, it's a 6%. On top of that, this is the only banner, the fest banners are the only banners where you can also get Bakamo and Swimsuit Oshino. And Swimsuit Oshino in particular is really bloody good. She's a really useful tank that does a lot of good things with repositioning and making red DPS really melt the enemies, because she debuffs the enemies and makes them take more damage from red DPS. So yeah, basically it's a good banner to save on and roll a lot on. Now, I could theoretically triple Spark, but I think I'm going to stop at double, because there are other banners coming up that I need to shoot for. Now this account's still quite new, of course, so I still have a lot of fierce time pyro just waiting. For example, I'm actually quite far behind on campaign hard quests, just because we keep getting events that you have to burn AP on. But at some point I'll be able to burn through that, especially now that I'm getting up there level wise. But now jibber jabber, let's see how our GORILLAHIME rolls go, shall we? Yuka. Oh, I hadn't. Oh, we can't click on them from here. She's a healer, but I found her. Okay, now to be fair, I've only used her like a couple times when she's forced story unit. And I find that you really have to practice with her timing because she's got a delay on when she drops her heel. It's not just point, click, and boom, there it is. So you really have to plan it out. It is AoE though, so that's nice.
ごきげんよう。あ、こっちの言葉の方がより自然かもです。はじ
So
め
you
まして。
take one of those. Double raids and no 3 stars yet. That about sums up my luck. So we're really hoping for... I'm really hoping to get Sana Hoshino because Nico, I'm going to double spark her at worst. At minimum, so let's see what we got here. Another Mari. Who's this going to be? Oh. Wow, wow, wow. Okay then. We take those. Red Hunter. Is this? This is regular cherry night. Oh wow. That's one of the banners coming up that I would potentially sort of need to roll on. So that actually is quite helpful to have gotten here already. So now, Iroha is one if I can't get it here. And I think there's another set of New Year banners. Alright, I didn't have Fuka yet. I had enough Enigma to purchase her, but I waited because she's a 2-star, so I will inevitably just roll her. Yeah, if you don't really need that 2-star student right away, I recommend kind of holding off. Even if you have enough Enigma to just purchase them, because it can go a long way in getting them to the next upgrade state when you're likely to roll them just pretty easily. Oh, min roll. Make up for that really nice roll we just had. No worries. Alright, we can skip that. That was an accident, but... Serena? Oh, another... She actually becomes fairly stout. I'm not sure I'd say that you could use as a main tank once you get a 3-star and the like. Oh. There we go. So, Mika is one that you definitely want to just max out completely. Sounds really peachy keen on that. Oh, the Serika. Oh, then slacking on That's good to see. That's really good to see. I've needed her something fierce. See, if Mika was a normal character, like say a support, we could stop right there. If this wasn't special Fest banner as well. And that'd be 60 recruit. It's like, I hope this game continues to be kind to me. Good Lord knows I need it enough to. Wait, FGR loves to kick me where the sun doesn't shine. Look what we have here. Excuse me.
本の中の物語のように私たちの物語が怪我をされた方はいらっしゃいますか？
I was saying something about Haruka. And we got interrupted by Mika.
自警団任務の延長ですね。黒見セリカよ。言っとくけど、私が一緒になる以上真面目にやってよね。
Millennium. Ah. I think that's my second copy of her.
よろしくお願いしますね、先生。さまざまな面で。バルキューレ警察学校のキリノです。皆さん。
No, she was new. I guess it was the alt account where I had her. That's pretty neat. Unfortunately, the alt account has had to go the way of the Dardar because I was running very low on disk space. So I had to drop the spare FGR account and the spare Blue Archive account. Oh. It wasn't a min roll.
それで今から何をすればいいの？
This is another thing. I need a Eligma. Well, I will probably need Eligma because I doubt I'll get enough. I'm actually not certain how many copies, just roll-wise, you need to max out a 3-star student. Huh. Let's hope for an Eater Heart. That'll save me a banner later on. She's another one that you want to max out. She's just a little bit ludicrous. She basically solo certain raids for you. She's amazing in just campaign and events and the like. Or just there's another cheat button for PvP. She's good at PvP as well, was the next thing I was going to mention. I struggle to think of something that you can't just use her for. If nothing, and she's just a really good stat stick for your team. Because spatial students, they give a portion of their stats, since they're not on the field obviously. A portion of their stats gets added as bonus stats to your striker team. Ryuka is certainly nothing to sneeze at. Definitely want to max her out and get her upgraded Bond gear. I actually need to get to leveling her skills. Okay. We'll use her fin on Shimari. Oh, that's nice.
私と先生の仲だし、アイスブレイクとかはいらないよね。
Ah, precious little Ifumi.
至らない私ですが、よろしくお願いします。
She's
ご主人様と一緒に楽しい一日を始
she's
めちゃ
usable. She's not terrible. She's not one of the best, but
ゲヘナ学園給
she's
食
not
部
gonna
に
hurt you
来る
too
と言い
bad
ま
if
す。
you like her. Want to use her in
お
certain
会いでき
fights.
て嬉しいです。先生、
Is she?
先生はどんなアイスが好きですか？
I think I already have her. Yeah, it's just those two that are new. Okay, we're halfway to a fierce spark. Okay, let me try to think in my head for a moment. Okay, so
ご主
for
人様と
3
一緒
star
に楽し
to
い
go to
一日を
4,
始め
we
ちゃう。
need 100. So getting a second copy of her automatically got her up to 4 star. Getting the 5th star is 120, and then leveling the unique equipment from 1 star to 2 stars 120 more, so that's 240. And then I think 180. So 420. We need 420. So that's practically rolling it 5 times extra. Or, no. Total. You'd need 20, but I mean, it's 1-to-1 for the first 20, so that'd be no
小さいからって舐めないで。
worries.
自警団任務の延
I
長です
forget,
ね。
was this? Yeah.
トリニティの安全のためなら
I've been working on
いくらで
getting
も
the
協力します。
Uta to 5 stars as well. She's also good in PvP once you get her bond gear maxed out. Of course, it takes some doing to get that far. Oh, second mid
怪
roll.
我をされた方はいらっしゃいますか？私がすぐに駆けつけますよ。美食研究会のあかりです。これから一緒に美味しいものを食べに行きましょうか。
So, it's a bit like FGO pre-coin system where, oh, you get 5 copies of them. Boom, the MP5, they're maxed out. Of course, then the coin system came along, and if they're 5 star, then you need a 6th copy of them. Which is a bit silly. And then for 4 star, just pray and cry. Very nice. Ooh, baby, a triple. As they say. Oh,
トリニティ総合学園
that's really good.
放課後
She's
週末
great for
部
certain
長や
Beano
の
raids and the like.
よろし
Outdoors?
くお願いします。
It's the most recent Beano raid we had. She was like the best DPS at. Well, that being said, Mika probably takes that over now, but
自警団任務の延長で
she's
すね。
definitely good to have. Ooh.
ゲヘナ学園救急医学部の部長木村
She's an
様です。
interesting one.
以後お見知りおきを。
She's a healer that has a summon. It's not a tank, but it's like an ambulance cheat kind of deal, kind of thing.
じゃーん、ついに登場。
It's pretty amusing.
これからすっごく
Oh,
面白い物語
I hope I get her sister here. That actually saved me some pain.
アビドス
and
対
raids.
策委員会
Getting another copy of her is good.
スノーゲヘナ学園給食部の
She has
ジュリと
bomb
言い
gear
ます。
as well.
お腹が空いたらいつ怪我をされた方はいらっしゃいます。白衣の天使があなたを訪ね。これからすっごく面白い物語が始まるよ。
What shafter we got? Sama Oshino, to be quite honest. Because I think her and Wakamar do have a higher rate, slightly. That's number 3, so... Oh dear. I may not have to double spark if we get to where the first spark will be the 5th copy of it. Because this is number 3, isn't it? So if we got one more of her. R, there we go. Tina. This is really good because it saves a whole lot of farming. Her being farmable is really nice though. Her summer version's limited, I believe. Sometimes you'd be surprised at what things aren't limited that you'd expect to be. As I was saying, some that you would expect to be limited. I'll be honest, I haven't the foggiest what her bunny version does. Cheeky devil. Cheeky devil. Incidentally, after this banner ends, each account will get 100 free rolls on the next banner, which is Kana or Megu. Now, neither of those are super must-haves, and they are permanent. So you can really take your pick there. Oh, Puka. Now we just need to get Wakamo, and we'd be set when it comes to Minro. Not a Wakamo to be found. Oh, I didn't have her. I think at this point... Well, let me think. Amy. I think Amy is the... Well, okay. Amy and... Onsen Cherino are the only students that I had on the alt account that I don't have on this one now. Is there any more Syrian as we can get? Oh. Ah. This one's one that people usually get disappointed to be spooked by. They're like, oh no, couldn't you just been Ibiki? Because she's just a better version of her. That and she's farmable. Well, you get her from one of the shops. I can't remember which. I think this is our last roll before Spark. Lots of gold. Yes. Nice through.
先生の声が聞こえたのでここに来ました。
Okay. Okay, we have. Hold on. Let me just. Oh, hello, Yori. Students. Oh dear. Where is she? Oh, it's going to be a mess sorting through all these new girls. Okay. So
もっと強くなっちゃった。これも先生のためだからね。
So we have a 5 stars with 80 left over, counting the spark. So as we do this, RT Lord.
力が足りないって思ったことはないけど。
So I love this stuff.
もっと強くなってもいい
We'll
よ。
work on that eventually. Okay, so what is this end? Yeah, it just lasts a week. Okay. So that got her to. Let's check again. Also, if you're curious about this, I had to switch emulators because, as I said, I was running out of disk space. So BlueStacks is what I did use, and BlueStacks has this neat little feature where it basically will clean at least the BlueStacks portion of your disk, because what these emulators are bad to, when they download a new version of the game, they won't get rid of old useless files, so it just becomes more and more bloated. And BlueStacks, as much as it gets crapped on by everyone, it's like the only one that I can think of that has that feature. However, my version of BlueStacks was older than when they added that feature, so I had to update to the newest version. Well, it didn't have to be the newest version, but whatever. And that completely broke Blue Archive, and I can't play it on that newest version of BlueStacks. So I had to switch to LD Player, which is what I'm on now, which is what I've been playing Girls Frontline on. So yeah, that's fun. Alright.
今のままじゃ満足できないんだ。じゃあもうちょっとだけ期待に応えちゃおうかな。
Now she's got a gun.
ああ、こんなによくしてくれるのは嬉しいけど、このままじゃ取り返しのつかないことになっちゃうかもしれないよ、先生。いい。
Alright. So we need 40 more and then 180 more, so 220. So I need 2 more copies of it. So what we could get it to. Yeah, I better not do that. I'll wait until we limit break it. Might as well add these two. I don't think I can get them very far because events being like they are, I've not been able to farm very many accessories. Okay. Also, this is this is still a relatively new account. That is not what I wanted to click on. And about this, for some reason LD Player has an older version of Play Store and it will not update. I can't get it to. So I could never like actually buy something on this game because of that. But it's not like I could anyway, so no skin of Minos. Unfortunately, every time I come back to this screen, that will pop up. But it's a minor annoyance, I reckon. Okay, let's keep rolling. Just like gremlin. That's a lot of maids. She's still going. It's cheeky blighter. Did I? Okay. Also did, I wasn't sure. This is actually good because I need to level her up, because I'm actually not spectacular when it comes to blue DPS. And now I know that there's a 4th DPS color on the way, which isn't really a surprise because even right now there's mention of siege type armor, which is purple. What's this going to be? Ooh. Oh, she was precious in the most recent track event. I think she's my first member from that school. Huh. Interesting. I dare say she is. What'd she say? So yeah, I need 2 more copies of Mika, but it's fine. It's going to be awkward if I get anywhere near sparking again. At the same time, it'd be awkward if I didn't get another copy of it and ended up being like 100 off, 120 off what I need. Of course, to say that now, that's exactly what's going to happen. The old mineral. I almost thought it was another mineral in a row. Okay, Omikaru. Okey-dokey. Keep those coming. She's really good. She's AoE, but also sort of single target as well. She does both really well, kind of like Iori. She's not as strong as Iori, of course, but she's very respectable. And until I get older, she'd be my best red AoE. I'm pretty sure. For Striker at least, because Hibiki is a thing. Oh, hey. Okay, I got all 3 of the Fest students. Wakamo's quite good. Then we paid for it with the Minro. I believe when I got Hoshino, it was the same. Gato and then Minro immediately following. But that was a while ago. I could have gotten mixed up. Okay, there we go. Now we just go to Spark and we're good to go, even if we don't get another copy of it. On the other hand, if we get another copy of it pre-Spark, I'll have a decision to make. If I hadn't got Summer Hoshino already, then I would just go to Spark anyway. Because eventually they are going to add higher gun tiers, going to 4 and then 5-star for it. Right now, even in JP, which is the master server, so to speak, is on 3-star as the cap. I wonder who this is. I like how I'm suddenly getting all these lasses from the Yakiko Academy after having gotten none of them prior to this. I believe there was only her. It's funny that I have Izumar yet, though. Jeez. I actually forget if it's her or her summer version that's so good. I'm doubting myself. I wonder if she's approaching 4-star territory yet. Akane. So we have gotten quite a few of her. Huh. Well, there we go. Dear Izuna. But is it her regular version or her summer version? But maybe both of them are quite good. Also, she's farmable. She may not be yet, but if she's not yet, she will be soon. So this is nice. I'll be able to max her out eventually,
ついに登場。さあこれから楽しく
without having to depend on RNGs, who, as we all know, can be a shifty one from time to time. So, at this point, we just fingers crossed for an Hero Heart Sprue. But if not, no worries. Alright. Sparked. That's this game's version of a spark. Or, well, it's this game's version of FGO's Gold or Rainbow Spark. Well, Rainbow Spark in this case. Where what looks like just a 2-star roll will suddenly turn purple on you. Ooh. One of the rabbits. Quite like the rabbit squad. They're a bunch of goofers. Okay. 4 more multis. No spark that time. Oh. I could have sworn she was limited. Huh. Maybe it's Bunny Karen that's limited. You cheeky blighter, look at you. Well, we won't have to spend 20 Rigma. So,
食べたいものがあったらいつでもおっしゃってください。ご主人様と一緒に楽しい一日を始めちゃおう。
okie dokie. Now we...
みそのみか、ついに登場って感じかな。あ、私と先生の仲だし、アイスブレイクとかはいらないよね。
There we are. There we are. So that increase one of her skills, I forget which one. And the next one will give her a boost in terrain. There we are. How far can we go? 35, not bad. Because it's... I've severely been slacking on scrimmages because they cost AP. In the past couple of events in particular, you kinda need to spend all your AP on them. Now, I unfortunately do not quite have enough mats to completely max her out, but I'm also not really not very far off, so that's good. I'll have to pull up the little chart though, because I want to do it in the proper order. I don't want to get stuck on slightly botched skills for a bit. See, this is, she does more damage the higher the enemy's HP. So raid bosses go burn, basically. As you can see, the cost is 6, so New Yuhuka will turn that into 3 cost. She has 2 other sources of extra damage right there. Piercing effectiveness, that's just increased yellow damage. And another 14% attack there. And this, then here's the big one. All of her attacks are guaranteed crits. And it makes her tankier. It's absurd. Like I said, her only weakness is her accuracy. So yeah, how are you doing over here? Oh, are you? That is right. Okay, how close are you? Quite a ways away. That's alright. I don't know what I did against you. What else do we get a lot at? She's sitting at 4 star. Yeah, it'll be another raid or 2 before I'm able to get her on up to 5. Ditto for her. Oh, this is strangely closer. What's you, love? Oh, there we go. Get you on up to 4 star.
こんな表現はあまり好きじゃないけど、今の私、測定不能です。
Now you, of course. I'm so far behind I haven't unlocked any of the, I think 2 hard quests where she's farmable. I need to do that. It's you. Okay, just quite a ways away. I'm not sure why I'm doing this on stream. I probably shouldn't be. Okay, let's check out the new ones. Actually, did I? Almost got you up to 4 star. The good news is her events, she's a welfare, so her event should rerun next year. Well, it will rerun next year, so I should be able to get her up to 5 star pretty handily. Oh, you're actually not too far away from 4 star, get up. I need to just get her to 3 star. She's farmable though, so it's... Right, she starts as a 1 star. She only gets 1 LF each copy of it you get. So, it takes a bit of doing to get anywhere. I thought I got more copies of it than that. Is this what I get for doing my own thinking? What you love? About as expected. What user? 56. Here's one. She's a welfare as well, but as you can see, I really did not get too many of her stuff. And it was a rerun too, so. But I'm not too fussed about it because she's not exactly spectacular. You know, though. Okay, let's get to some news. Right. So she can reposition herself easy enough, and she's a blue DPS, which is really nice. But she can reposition herself, which makes her really good against Sheila Girl, because she can dodge all the shenanigans, and there are very precise certain spots you can stand in, and just all of their attacks will miss you, except obviously the auto-targeting, auto-attack kind of things. But the big ones, the big hurty ones, will miss you. And it's really low cost, so it's pretty nice. She's got a little bit of AoE too as well. Nice crit damage, and then she gets attack and attacks. She gets a damage increase and an attack speed up when she uses her EX skill. So that's really nice. And she's cute as a button. Now what do you do? Like you're a striker. Okay, she's also repositioning, that's good. Repositioning is something I've noticed is really useful, but it's not something I had before rolling today. So I'm really quite chuffed to be getting all these sources of repositioning now. One of besides, so Track Yuka is really good because she's a really stout tank because she's bloody Yuka, and she has a repositioning as well as shields. So that's why she's so bloody good. I think that event will rerun. Yeah, I think it will. I don't think this was the first run of it, or the second run of it rather. I wouldn't swear to that though. It was my first event, so I'm definitely not nearly as knowledgeable about this game as UTR. Just considering I've been playing one for like 4 years and this one for not even half a year. I reckon that's understandable. Okay, so she heals and repositions. So, okay, she does have a bag. Okay, so she's a tank. That makes sense. For some reason I wasn't seeing the bag down here, so I was like, wait, all of her kit says she should be a tank, but I guess I'm just bloody blind. So that's pretty interesting. Skyo, she's blue as well. Striker. These are very lore applicable and they really fit character wise. Unfortunately, gameplay wise, it isn't exactly spectacular. Here we are. So the current raid we've got going, Shirakuro, Wakamar does really well against. She just does a lot of damage. She does burst damage, and then, as it says here, for 10 seconds, all the damage builds up, and then from all of her allies, and then it pops, and then does even more burst damage. Like, you would it's actually really surprising. Unfortunately, I don't have any more tries at Shirakuro left. Well, the raid ended. It would have been nice to actually show her in action, I suppose, but I don't pick when the raids end, unfortunately. Just lots of... She also does bonus damage to bosses, so good stuff all around. Ah, Moustache. So, her EX skill costs a lot. It costs a whole lot. But she basically nukes, well, she attacks essentially the entire bloody battlefield, including behind it, above her, below her, all around it. So it's actually really good in Chesed raid. Not least of which is because of this right here. She increases. She makes EX skills recharge faster, basically, just by being on the field. And there's no trade-off of her being not spectacular DPS-wise, at least for AoE. So she's really good to have. And I'd say she's easily the better version of her between her and the Onsen version. The Onsen version of her is a TS unit. She summons a tank to the field like Iroha does, and Summer Hifumi. She's better than Summer Hifumi just because she costs less, but the issue is she costs the same as Iroha, and Iroha just walks all over damage-wise. It's kind of ludicrous. Speaking of Hifumi, this can be quite useful. It's a moderate amount of AoE damage, but also a nice taunt. Can definitely has its place. Then yeah, she increases EX recovery as well after she's used her taunt. And then she's just big burst damage for raid bosses. And Urban, I guess it was Urban. It was Urban Bina that she was so good against. Good old Hina. Really high cost EX skill, but it does an absolute ton of AoE damage. Now, you do have to practice aiming it, because it looks like you would think it'd be like a corn, like say Midori, but it isn't. It's like a fanning out of lines of, yeah, sort of, as opposed to a spray. She just does a lot of damage. Sana summons tactical ambulance. The issue with this is, depending on the fight, your team can be bad to get out of the radius of the ambulance, so they won't end up being healed. But it really depends on the fight and how much moving around is going to be done. Ah, swimsuit Oishino. Yeah, so she juices up all of her allies damage-wise, and then further increases red damage by a whole lot. Because again, this is the EX level 1, and look at that percentage. She's sort of an offensive tank, really. Like she's got a bag, and she's got a defense up here. Or I almost forgot. She also increases the EX recovery. She's outstanding, and yeah. Once you get it to 5-star, which I will definitely work on doing eventually, and you start getting this stuff. Well, it's particularly this one. Sorry, you need to 2-star the gun. Get her to UE 40, unique equipment 40, or exclusive weapon level 40. Because it's just more defense and attack for her, makes her even tankier. It's good stuff all around. So she's not the most tanky in the world, even with that, but you're doing so much bloody damage, and things just die. Best defense is a good offense, as they say. Now, what do? You are spatial. Okay. So you're like a blue Hibiki, except I imagine you're not nearly as AoE. That seems more single target. You're still a striker. Decrease defense. Okay, so AoE damage and defense lowering, which is increased damage. Huh. Just makes her a little tankier. Oh, she has a bond equipment. Gives her more attack. And what's this do? 1.0 force. Huh? I'm guessing that means her on EX skill. Okay, yeah, I believe that was a way to effectively increase one of her other skills and effectively lower this cost to 4 as opposed to 5, essentially. So they kind of buff 2 skills in one there. Kind of like in FGR with Skaha, with the buff they gave her, her skill, which gave her a battery, which she needed because her MP gain wasn't spectacular, and got rid of the ING on her crit up skills on her evade. So they solved 2 issues with 1 buff. I approve. I like thinking a little cleverly about it. So yeah, I feel like she's just a stouter version of her regular self, but particularly when she gets this stuff, which we'll work on that when we get to it. Nora is a tank, I know that. She can force target you, because obviously your team aims with their regular attacks. Just the AI decides. Well, here you can force them all to shoot one enemy in particular. For at least a bit. She's sort of an offensive tank. Who unfortunately does not have a bag. Oh. And then, like I mentioned earlier, Saya is just a worse version of Hibiki, unfortunately. At least as far as I've ever seen her described. But she's it's not like she isn't usable. Just because one thing's good doesn't necessarily mean that something that does similar things to it but not quite as good is terrible, unless that unit on its own is just terrible. I probably said that really wonkily, but hopefully you understand what I mean. Shun, she's the PvP queen. Well, her and Iroha, of course. She basically, yeah, when battle begins, she just gives your entire team 2 skill calls once. So it's kind of a... Because with PvP, it's more of a, oh, who just gets lucky and blows each other up quickest a lot of the time. And with her, you can kind of cheat a bit because you can get your big skills that much quicker than the other team. She's definitely not a priority to raise because you would only use her in PvP. Like the rabbit squad, the little goobers. Fairly standard yellow DPS. Okay, I already had her. Obviously I've already had her. Had her. You know her. If you look, if you ever search online, search say YouTube for like, oh, how you know, how is this character good or not? Unfortunately, the higher viewed videos, I know this from experience, will actually sort of poo-poo her and be like, oh, she's kind of lame, she's a waste, she's not very good. However, and obviously there are plenty of red AoEs that are better. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying she's top tier red AoE. However, this little fear effect can actually be pretty useful, and it can be the difference between I had a teammate die, and okay, I got Serena's healed just in time to save them. Particularly in event battles where there's just a massive swarm of the bloody enemies, like the previous 2 events they've had. particularly the one prior to this, the New Year one, where it's just a massive blob of enemies, and each individual enemy is not that strong, but there's just so many of them that they just absolutely melt through your team. So this is really handy. Of course, it does have a painful cost, but that's basically her big issue, is the cost being so high. I'm actually not sure if the cost lowers when it gets levels. I wouldn't think it does, otherwise she would be more highly thought of. But hopefully that's something they fix eventually, because as you see she doesn't have any bond equipment. I feel like she would be a good target for one. Halfway to 3-star. She basically throws out a line of mines, and if you're careful you can overlap them a bit, which is why, despite her being AoE, she actually does really solid single target damage as well. This as well, if you can reposition it properly, this can actually really blow up enemies pretty well as well. And then she can give herself more accuracy. That's always lovely. Already talked about her with this lady here. Okay. And that was all of them for now. I will go ahead. Where was she? Oh, there she was. I'll go ahead and level her.
また強くなった気がする。
Tier 3. That's no good. Need to get that up to Tier 4. How far off am I? Oh, just 4? That's not terrible. I think I actually have some selectors, so I could directly do it, but not too fussed about it at the moment. Finally gotten to the point where I'm going to be running out of... I've gotten high enough level and far enough along to where I have a big enough box that it's going to start being more... I'm going to run out of combat reports. Or, not combat reports. What are they called in this game again? Bloody hell, I just used them. Oh. What's it called? No. Bug it. I need someone within level. They are reports. Hold on. Are they combat reports here as well? Items. Activity reports. Okay, activity reports. Right. Combat reports are Girls Frontline. That's their version of experience. But these are activity reports. Bugger all. And yes, I do have selectors. Good to know. Good to know. Do I have anything nice here?
こちらの件、あっさりと終えられましたね。
Nice one.
もう終わったのですか？
Alrighty. So that was Mikafest rolling. Pretty chuffed about the results. We managed to get Mika. We managed to get enough copies of Mika. Heck, we got an extra one too. Saved us 20 Elif there. Or Enigma rather. Elif are the character ones and Enigma are the generic ones, right? Probably. We got Sana Hoshino, we even got Wakamai. We got Shun. Got Izanor. Got Hina. There's no one I wanted to click on. Although I do have access to these two now, so I need to start raising those. So I did that on purpose. Actually, wait. Do they not have one for the rabbits? Yet. Huh. That's interesting. What am I on? I'm at least 45, I know that. I suppose I could just 16. 40. 56, 58. Okay, wait. That can't be right. How does math work? I am in the vicinity of 50. Probably. Oh, do you have? So yeah, they don't have the rabbits yet. Rolling in this game is not nearly as messy as FGO because, oh no, now I have to sort through the servants. Now I have to deal with all the craft essences. It's just going through the students here. But we'll definitely want to raise Mootski. Honestly, it just depends on the raids. Just prioritize by the way the raids come up. Sort of the way to go. Definitely don't try to raise everyone immediately. I've already went too overboard as it is. But unfortunately, her rerun is what just passed, but eventually I could max her out. Well, eventually you can max them all out, but it's all about priorities. Next order of business is leveling Mika's skills. Alright, I can do more of this, although I don't think... Yeah, that's not even enough to get her another level. So I'll just hold off on that for the moment. Although, I am able to do scrimmages now. Well, maybe. We do have whatever this is. I actually haven't really checked this out. Yeah, it's not available right now. I feel like these are like essentially raid fights. quite tell. It looks like chess is set out. Although, I feel like the enemies look a bit different. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's raid fights, but their color is different. Which is pretty creative. Now, I wouldn't swear to that, but there's a thought I had looking at that image. But alright, I think I've dragged this stream out long enough. So, I hope you enjoyed, and see you next time.